everyone, back to the Soup Bowl, and we're at it again. And I am your host, Renee Murdoch. I am so happy that you are here with me on today, listening, liking, sharing, going on this journey with me. I am happy to be going on the journey with you as well. And hey, when we get in the Soup Bowl, life gets messy, right? Because we don't know what's happening. We don't know what's going on. When we're living our lives, it gets messy, it gets humbling if we are doing it right. So again, thank you for welcome back. So, what we've been up to this week? What have you been doing this week that has got you some progress growing, right? Going in life. We're in, the third month of the year. And so have you made a measurable mark in those goals that you want to make on this year? Have you? Have you? If you haven't, why not? Why haven't you done it? Give me a call, right? Hit me up at www.formosaic.com and let's chat about it. I can get you to some results if you are struggling in that area. And sometimes you just need to just talk it out with people, right? So, hey, this is the time where we talk about one of the things that I love doing. And I actually love doing this, and this is actually reading. Right? I think I told you before, like how I really got to love reading, and it's one of those programs that they have in school. And shame on our administration if they're trying to take away these programs. But I just love reading, and so I'm just happy about it. And I just love reading, everything. Not everything. Let me take that back. Not everything, but I do like learning about a lot of different things, and I love those that have the gift of writing and those that want to openly share their story and being transparent, and then just get information out there to help us all in this life. So we went on a date, hey, right? And so, before I begin, let's talk about our guest on today. Because remember I told you that we're going to have a guest that's going to be making some cameos for us all. And so that is my bestie, my boo, my babe, my man, my you-know-who I'm riding out with, Murdoch. So he's here with us today. Thank you for joining us today.
It's great to be here. I wouldn't be nowhere else. Well, I can't be nowhere else because this is the house.
Right. So you wouldn't be anywhere else.
Well, I can be outside, but it's cold.
Okay. So introduce yourself. Introduce yourself to the people.
Hello, people. My name is Murdoch. I'm Renee's spouse, husband, best friend, confidant, and whatever those other acronyms that spouses, consider themselves as.
Well, yeah. I don't know if people always consider themselves as certain things. So it's like, really, what do you consider yourself as?
Human.
Is your bottom hurting?
No, I just have this. So you have that hat on, so it makes me look like I'm like 5'3". You got on that LL Cool J. Can't live without my radio. But okay.
He be hating on my hat. Why are you hating on my hat?
That's a big old hat, man.
He's hating on my hat. Get you one.
It's actually casting a shadow on me.
Yeah.
But listen, I don't want to. I got things to do.
Casting a shadow on you is a good thing.
Yes, but
it's not a bad thing. I'm casting light on you.
No, it's casting a shadow on me because I'm usually high yellow. But if you look, I'm brown now.
You're usually high yellow?
I'm a red bone. But that hat you got on made me like caramel.
You are caramel.
Yeah, I used to be like a...
No, I don't go for high yellow, so that's not true.
Normally I'm a yellow cream.
Although it had to be someone that was lighter than me. I just thought I was like super dark, but we had that story before.
Actually, this is my skin color. But since she got the hat on...
Anywho, thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything else that you would like to share about yourself with the people so they can just kind of like get to know you when you're making your cameo appearances?
One thing, I am a male. I identify as a male, and Renee is a female, so she identifies as a female, and I know that for sure.
I'm so happy that you really explained that and broke that down to people because they might have had some questions considering the color of his skin.
Hi, yo.
Sweetness. Okay. But anyway, so so we're coming today, and this particular time, I'm so happy that you're joining us today, so we can have a little, talk about one of the things that makes us each other's spouses. I think that's the word that you use, and I use they, significant other, whatever that may be. Mm-hmm. It's because we are married.
Yes.
Yes, people. Put a ring on it, right? Boom, 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 boom. And so, yeah, we're married. Mm-hmm. And so, again, we're doing this thing, called marriage, and we believe in
marriage.
Yes, we believe in marriage, and our foundation is
marriage. The Lord.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yes, so we believe in doing it that way, right? So we just want to give that disclaimer up front. So when we're saying certain things, that's what we're staying on, because a lot of people have a lot of different beliefs and things of that nature. I'm gonna need you to stop looking at my hat.
No,
because I know you see my face.
No, because you put out a disclaimer. I want to put out a disclaimer. I am not being paid by Nautica to wear this shirt. What?
What does that have to do with anything? You are not making a commercial for Nautica.
I just want.
Nor are we talking about clothing right now or branding.
No, because when people play music on Facebook, they said it says something. They put a disclaimer out. Facebook does not pay me to listen to this music. I do not have copyright. So I bought this shirt with my hard-earned money, and Nautica does not pay me to wear this shirt. Actually, I paid them to wear it.
Very good, very good. And I have to say that about Nike too, because I wear a lot of Nike stuff because it's just comfortable to me. They're not paying me either, although it would be nice if you would, because I just think I'd be rocking it.
Should I go put out the other disclaimer?
Which is what? Please do, Sharon.
You're not paid to wear that bucket either on your head.
This is Nike.
That's a bucket.
That is Nike. Anyway, whoop-de-whoop whoop.
That thing holds
I am not getting paid by him either. So.
Yes, you are.
All right. Anyway. All right. So we want to come to you today, and we want to talk about this book. Okay, it's called A Short Guide to a Happy Marriage. And again, like I said, we went on this date and with some other couples, and we played some games, whatever. And this was one of the prizes. I was a little scared at first because I like to read, and
I don't.
And he does not.
It depends. I will read it, but it's got to be really good. And this book was really good. I don't remember a lot of it, but it was really good.
So, no. You read, but you like to read. It's almost like if there was still newspapers, right? He would be that person that would be reading the newspaper every day. That's what he likes to read news articles. He's not going to pick up a book and actually read the book unless he's forced to read it. So anyway, so we got this book, and I was like, oh, it's a book. I'm going to read it, but I don't know if he's going to read it. And so then I was like, oh, it says A Short Guide to a Happy Marriage. Short guide, right? And it really is short. And it's short, but it has good nuggets, right? I think it has some really good nuggets in it. And so I read this. It's so short that I read it in one setting. And it literally only took me like not even 2 hours to read this book. And because I was kind of like, oh, this is really, oh, yes, that confirms that. I already had these thoughts. I already believe in that. There's some just good reminders for a happy marriage. Now, the person that wrote this book is Sharon Gilcrest O'Neill. Sharon Gilcrest O'Neill. Now, Sharon Gilcrest O'Neill, she is a licensed marriage and family therapist, right? And she has a book called A Short Guide to a Happy Divorce. I believe you can have a happy divorce. I wouldn't want a divorce, but if you're going to get a divorce, you can have a happy divorce. It doesn't have to be cruel and mean and just, you can have a happy divorce, right? A happy separation.
Sound like Sharon been through some things.
You think Sharon been through some things?
It's a happy, short guide to a happy marriage.
But she's a family therapist. So she hasn't been divorced. She's actually been married once. And she's still married to her husband.
So, but she knows a smart guide to a happy divorce.
It's a short guide to a happy divorce.
I'm conflicted, but yet I'm still here.
So you feel like you got to go through a divorce to write a book about a happy divorce?
A happy divorce.
But if you're a therapist and you're having conversations with people that are going through that, and you've done research and studies years over years about relationships, that you can't really offer a guide to a happy divorce of things that you possibly should be doing.
I'm just saying, it seems like someone would go through that in order to know what a happy divorce or a sad divorce would be. That's just my thought process.
Well, actually, I think if you went through it, yeah, you could have some leverage there. But I also think that if that's something that you're experiencing, again, because she's a family therapist, that people are coming to her with marital issues, or they're going through a divorce, right? And then all of a sudden, name calling, this is mine, this is yours, everything just goes out the window.
But nevertheless, let's talk about a short guide to a happy marriage.
Because we're in a happy marriage, yes.
I didn't. So I got tonight.
Anyway, okay. So we're gonna give our 3 points.
3.
Okay, whatever your points are. I think that was a little too much for him. But so my 3 points, I have wrote them down. So my 3 points were that I got out of this book was marriage is work. Marriage is work. Why is marriage work? Because you have 2 different people coming together and working together as one over time. Like you had your upbringing, I have my upbringing, we grew up in different places or whatever. Even though, they say that we are African Americans, which I don't really identify. I don't think that we're African Americans, but that's a whole other story. Anyway, and so they would think that, they're going to get along great, they're going to get along perfectly. Wrong. I totally disagree with that. Like it takes work daily to make a marriage work. Like I have to be mindful of how I talk to Murdoch, right? Or what I decide what I'm going to do, if I'm going to do that or not. Do I really want to give of myself and be a servant to him, every day? It's a choice. Do I want to cook today? Do I want to be kind today? Do I have to laugh at his not so funny jokes today?
Yeah, you don't have to want to cook, but you're gonna cook.
Anywho, so that was one of mine. So go ahead and give yours. We'll go back and forth.
Okay. I gotta go back to my page because one of mine was so we come from different backgrounds. We come from different walks of life, and one of mine was hang in there. Trials and tribulation comes. Sometimes you might hate your spouse, and other times you might love them. But it's a love and hate relationship. You can't let that hate overcome the love. So this is when you come together. You talk about the issues, the concerns, and things of that nature, or something they said that makes you feel uncomfortable, or something you said that you said, oh man, I shouldn't have said that. And do they have to come to you to tell you that they feel uncomfortable, or should you say that was wrong? So, but in all of that, kids come, family member come, things come, but you just gotta hang in there. Hanging in there. It's just like, just think about 1987 when Michael Jordan was hanging in the air. You gotta do the same thing. Hang in there.
I would say that was a good
analogy.
Yeah, but I also wanted to say that Michael Jordan had to come down.
No, he's still in the air.
So he.
Look on his shoes. He's still in the air. You got a pair of Jordan. He's still in the air.
Okay, yeah, he's still in the air on the Jordans, right? Like, but I'm just saying, like, he eventually had to come down. But
No,
I think his market value hasn't came down either, though. But okay, so that's good. You said something in there, and I think it goes into one of my points, which were there will be times where when you might hate the other person.
Yeah, you gotta hang in there. I said that. You can't take my points and expound on your points.
No, this is one of my points. My point is not hang in there. This is my point. There will be times when you will hate the other person.
I said that too in my points.
Right. So, but this is actually my point.
Yes, but it sounds like you might have just wrote it.
No, I did not just write this.
Because how
you see this right here as my point. You see.
I got something in my eye.
Whatever. You see it right here. There will be times when you might hate the other person. It is not an excuse for either party to leave.
Time. You just wrote it right there.
No, I did not. Anyway, so he's just trying to, make it seem like I'm not prepared. And I am a prepared person. He's not. So anyway, so there will be times where you hate the other person. Has there been times we've been together that you just couldn't stand me?
Yes.
Like you could not stand to even hear my voice or even for me to be around or whatever. Tell me a time about that.
It was 2003 to yesterday of 2025. It don't seem like that long, but hey.
That is so cruel.
Oh, that was good though. But I'm not.
That's so cruel. That is so cruel. That's when we got married. So you're trying to say that you've been hating me ever since marriage until today?
I didn't say that. You just asked me what time. You said what time? That's all.
Yeah, I said give me a time.
Yeah, I gave you a time.
I cannot. So anyway, okay, if that is true, you can hate. Yeah. You can hate somebody throughout whatever that time.
But it wasn't like a hate. It was like, man, I don't like her. Hate it right now.
Okay, so in that hate, was there still love?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so when was that?
When was what?
When was that love?
When you bought me something.
Anyway, at that point, you were supposed to give the same dates. You missed your opportunity.
Let's come back to that one.
Let's go. He missed his opportunity. You know what's gonna happen to him tonight, right? But anywho,
yeah.
So that's not an excuse for either party to leave. I think like if you make a commitment, I think that's the problem. Like people are making commitments and they're not really understanding the commitment that they're making. They're making vows, but they're not understanding that the vows that they're making. At the very beginning, if both people are saying like we are in this, right? Like we do not want to separate. We don't want to get divorced. Like we're in this to win it. We're in it to the end, to death do us part. From us not killing one another, but actually dying to ourselves. Like not killing one another, but dying to ourselves, right? Until we leave this earth. So I think if you have that mindset that we're going to go through some things. I might not like you tomorrow, but I'm not going to leave either.
How can you not like me in the future?
I'm just giving that as an example.
You could have said, I might not like you yesterday, but how you already planning not to like me tomorrow?
Well, you already didn't like me from 2023 up into 2025, so I think that kind of...
That's in the past. We passed that. That was like 20, 30 minutes ago.
No, it wasn't.
Look at the time.
I am looking at the time. It was not 20, 30 minutes. We haven't even talked that long.
But you going in the past.
Okay.
We're focusing on the
okay,
future.
Like I said, I might not like him tomorrow, so... But either way it goes, I am not going to leave, right? So now,
what about when you go to work? You're not leaving.
Let's be clear though. I have wanted to leave. I have wanted to leave numerous of times, but because I understood the assignment that I was in. And I said, okay, I'm honoring my vows. Is it something that I can get past to the point where, okay, I because people just irritate you, they frustrate you or whatever. But can I get past this or whatever to the point where I'm not giving up something that could be really beautiful in the end? Because I just can't. Oh my gosh, she keeps leaving hair in the sink, or doesn't put the seat down, or is not responding to me every time I'm looking for attention or whatever, but I'm not explaining to him exactly what it is that I need.
Yeah, and also because we don't want to rewrite history.
That's good.
So you got your parents that might have went through that and things of that nature, and you're like, okay, I don't want to go through this because I know what effect it has on us as kids. You don't want to put your kids, but then again, you don't want to stay together for the simple fact that other kids as well. So you got to do those things that will bring you closer together.
The work.
Yes, and to discontinue that toxic environment that you may be having, because most of us think that the kids are not paying attention to what's going on. They do pay attention. They are very smart kids, and they always want to be in adult business, so they have their ears to the drywall. Because I know I had my ear to the drywall when I was young, and I was like listening to them fussing and arguing about this and that, and then like, okay, why are we, and you think about it and you look back on it and say, man, why did they just stay together? Oh, because nobody wanted to pay child support or whatever. And then eventually it dissolved. So the marriage, and then you have to deal with who's going to stay with who's going to live with who, and then what weekend do you? It's so much.
Yeah.
So much. So. Yeah. And then that's one of the things is we're not going to leave.
Right.
We're just going to talk it out like humans. Just like if you had an interaction in the store, with the clerk or the cashier. If it's a disagreement in your chain, you're going to speak. You're going to talk to them about it. You're going to call for a manager or whatever. And in a relationship, you just call for a therapist, and then you just send your wife to the therapist.
So you were talking real good. You was talking good until that last point.
What's about the cashier?
No, you send your wife to the therapist? No, I think that women are more willing to go to the therapist versus a man.
And you know why that?
What? Please do tell me.
Because you need it more?
No. No, they're unwilling to go because of their ego, which is one of the points to your first point or whatever, is that's the reason why a lot of things, when you're talking about if someone says something to you that you don't like, I think that women would be more open to say the things that they don't like if they weren't dealing with men that are fragile with their ego. Because we would say something, we're not going to talk about it this time, but I'm just going to make a little point right here, but we're not going to dwell on it.
What you mean this time?
This time. So
I'm not getting paid for this.
we can say something and they will get, wounded, right, by us, coming to them and being honest with them about certain things. I.e., I'm just going, I'm not going to go to the bedroom yet, but we're going to go to the doggone kitchen. Like, we've been living here for some time, literally over 5 years. And for some odd reason, my bestie still does not know where the bowls are at. I'm like, he's definitely playing with me because I know he knows where these bowls go. You know where the plastic bowls goes, the mixing bowls go, the stainless steel bowls are at, the glass bowls are at, the cereal bowls, the soup bowls. The ramen bowls. You know where these bowls go.
You got that many bowls?
But he pretend like he don't know where these bowls go. So I
put them back from which they came.
No, you don't. Okay, go to your second point.
My second point. You want to both grow in understanding the unavoidable baggage you have brought to each other. So when people think about baggage, so most people think about, okay, if the husband is bringing in like some kids or something like that, or the wife has bringing in kids and things. They think about kids as baggage or whatever. But when we think about baggage, it's talking about the thought process of your ideology of marriage and your output on marriage from your mom and your dad or somebody in your neighborhood or whatever. but you have to take that baggage and you have to put that baggage under control and then destroy it. Because I mean, and then you got the financial part, because that could be a baggage.
Oh, definitely, that's a baggage.
If I didn't disclose what debt that I bought to the marriage, which in this case, I don't like debt. I don't like owing people, so I didn't bring that to
debt
to the marriage. And Renee didn't bring no debt or anything to the marriage. So we kind of we kind of started off on a clean slate, and we just kind of elevated from there. Not to say that baggage is going to be the ultimate pitfall of a marriage. You just got to work through it and talk through it and be transparent upon entering that union. And then sometimes it's withheld, and then you don't know about it until you didn't sign the dotted line, and then you're like, oh, what the hell I done got myself into? Right. Because now you figure that you're both on clean slate. Now you're starting the marriage off in the negative, and you're trying to build up all that, and then you think like, oh man. But that's that baggage thing that I talk about. It could be so many more other things, but fortunately and thankfully that we didn't have to deal with premarital baggage and things of that nature, except for mindsets and the walk of life that we come from. And that's going to be ideally.
But that's baggage, baby.
Yeah, but that's going to be ideally in pretty much every marriage, unless you grew up next door to each other and you kind of follow each other to school and junior high and college and whatever.
Well, no, they're still gonna have baggage because your household is totally different. So the things that you've seen your parents do or whoever household that you was raising up.
Why you gotta bring my people?
No, I said your parents.
Yeah, that's my people.
Okay, well I'm just talking to the people.
No, you said my parents.
Our parents.
Your parents.
Right. So or whoever we grew up in the house.
Oh, now they whoever
we grew up in a household with, right? It's not the same. You didn't grow up in the same household. And so that alone is baggage because like when you brought up finances, yeah, we both came in, we didn't have debt or whatever, but then you had a different mindset when it came to how to handle finances. And I had a different ideal as well, which did cause some friction, in the beginning. And so at times it still does cause a little bit of friction because I'm like, hold up. Hold a second. Let's get it out your head. Or even the baggage of, like you say, you might have not known until after you signed that dotted line. And then now you're like, oh my gosh, what the hell I done got myself into. But even in that, there again, egos on both sides. Are we willing to work through this? Which brings up my point. One of my key takeaways is honoring your vows. Well, you done signed the dotted line, whatever. And so, as you're getting into this, it's not the first 30 days. Because, first 30 days, oh, no, I can't do that, or, I found out that, you're a pedophile or something like that. And I didn't know it, you know what I'm saying? So,
well, you could know it too.
Yeah. It's not you. Hush up. And so you're like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. But, if you're bringing baggage, because we're all going to bring baggage into a relationship, because we've all went through things, breakups, disappointments, hurt, pain, sometimes we bring those things into the next relationship. And so we have to learn how to not bring that baggage into the relationship. But if we end up bringing that baggage in the relationship, that other person should be able to work with that person through that if they're willing to work through it, right? And so for us, again, because the Lord is our foundation, that, a lot of times it's just prayer. Yeah. And it's prayer and doing the work, right? So we're confessing and believing things upon the way that God intended marriage to be, but we're also doing the work that, we can't say, oh yeah, we believe in this and we believe in that, and then there's no work point to it. Meaning there you can pray, believe in God, but there's also what? Therapy, counseling, that is there, that
a third party that's not.
And then also being intentional, right? We had to be intentional about dating, putting it on the calendar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had to put it on the calendar, right? And then we had to even talk about dates again.
Absolutely, we went on one. That's how we won this book.
Right, but we had to talk about dates because for him, going on a date was always just going out to eat, and I'm like, that's not a date. That's not the only thing you can do for dating.
I paid for it.
Did you?
No, you did.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Anywho, so it doesn't matter who pays for it. It comes from the same place. But anyway, so That is one thing. But hold on. Do you have another point?
No.
Because we are about time. But hey, it's all good. Okay, so
you can't go over time, man. You want to
another one. Yes, we can. We paying for this.
I ain't gonna. This is my first appearance.
Anyway, so a couple must be able, to weather the storms which are inevitable, with the belief that no one is going to walk out the door, right? So we already talked about that. And so I think if you're honoring your vows and knowing that there are going to be storms, let me say that again. There are going to be storms. There are going to be storms. There is going to be difficult times. There is going to be trials. There is going to be testing. There is going to be all of these things. And sometimes no one wants to say this, but I don't care what you say. No one has been in a marriage and has not gone through adultery, because there are different types of adultery, right? We even have become adulterers to those of the faith or whatever to one another. And so that is walking away from the vows that you have made. We are all guilty of it in some aspect. It is not just physical, but it's emotional, spiritual. Like, we all are adulterers in some shape or form. And so you're going to go through that. And can you weather that storm?
And I like that. It says, I'm going to read it again.
Okay.
A couple must be able to weather the storm which are inevitable, with the belief that no one is going to walk out the door. So you got to put that in, just put it in layman's term. If it's a storm outside, where you at? You're in the house.
Inside, for cover.
Yeah.
For protection.
Same thing with marriage. You're not going to walk out the door in a bad storm and just like your marriage. If you have some kind of issues or whatever, you shouldn't be able to walk out the door. You want to stay in, get covered, seek shelter, which is your spouse, and that's where you talk out those situations.
Supposed to be your safe place.
And then eventually, when you talk those situations out, the same as a storm, what it's going to do? It's going to eventually pass over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you just learn to fight another day. You live to fight another day.
Yeah.
That's for those. I'm not trying to test your intelligence, but that's for some of us that are real slow. I had to put it in layman's terms. Just like a storm, you don't go outside. Just like your weather, you're not going to go out the door.
Yeah.
That's just for some of you. So leave, if you're in the comments, if you want to put something in the comment that you might be one of the slow ones, just put a little comment in there. Just say, that was me.
Do not do that. Do you have any parting words for people on today?
No, I don't have parting words for you, but no, for the people, but I do have parting words for you. I know this is your podcast, and this is my appearance, dude.
Your cameo.
Yeah, this is my cameo. Am I gonna get anything on the back end, like make an appearance, like a stipend or something?
Yeah, I got you.
I want it right after you hit the stop button. I want my end.
You see how people is?
Ain't even nothing on the table. And y'all heard it too.
You see how people is? They just can't do nothing out the goodness of their heart.
I did.
We're helping other people.
Yeah, I did it out the goodness of your heart. Now you're gonna do it out the goodness of your pockets.
Okay. Anywho,
yes, Lord.
So we are at the end. We are over our time. So he made
your time.
He made him
your podcast.
He went over anyway. So people, do not forget, right? Go out, search for this book. I don't know where it's at because again, it was a gift to us. But it is called A Short Guide to a Happy Marriage, and it really is a really good little gem book. And again, it's just a great fast read. You can take some key points out of there, right? And then have some table talk time. You know what I'm saying? Not bed rustling sheet time, but some little table talk. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where the foreplay starts at, right? It's in the conversation. It's in the tabs. People listen to tabs. So, anyways, but thank you so much for joining us, Murdoch. Thank you for joining us. I actually do call him that. I do not call him by his first name. I call him Murdoch.
Do I have to leave just like I entered?
So, anywho, just know that when you get in the Super Bowl, life gets messy. Do you know? Yes.
Can I leave like I entered?
if you choose to do that, but you can actually stay while I close this out.
Goodbye.
Anywho, so just do know that leading is teachable. Okay? I love you. There's nothing that you can do about it. Until next time.